Hello, Oracles! Well, what is Elon really disrupting? We'll get into that in a minute. Time of this recording right now, we are disrupting that stock price a little bit. We are up about 1.5%, just over $231. So again, as we had talked about last night, that $230 level is what we are looking to break through. That is going to be our breakthrough moment, and we're going to break out from there if we can continue climbing above 230 and close over that level. So we'll pay attention to that today. Again, we have the FOMC meeting starting today, finishing tomorrow, and tomorrow afternoon around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will have Jerome Powell coming out giving us the interest rate hike that the Fed had decided to go with this time around. So we'll find that out tomorrow. So we do have a little bit of green in the market leading into that. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. Obviously, some talks about a 50 basis point hike could end up boosting us up. Having a discussion with Rio in the comments saying that the Fed does not want to have a rally prior to Thanksgiving, so maybe the Fed is going to go with a 75 basis point hike to keep us down. He made a lot of great points about how the jobs market is still hot. We still have a lot of spending going on. Wages are still high. So, there's a good incentive for the Fed from their perspective to go up 75 basis points. Of course, a lot of that is lagging data that we are getting from them. So a lot of times we look forward and say, well, that's lagging data. Let's look forward into the future because the decisions you make now might actually change the future even more than they need to be. We may naturally be getting into a deflationary time and the Fed may not need to raise rates. We won't know this, but the Fed is the one who's going to make the decisions. There's nothing we can truly do about it other than just kind of prepare for whatever the Fed is going to do and then do the best that we can. And before we get into what Elon is truly disrupting, we are already seeing that he is disrupting Dogecoin. We know that Elon is a proponent of Dogecoin. He does support it because of all the factory workers saying that they do like it, they want him to support it, and so he does. We also know that Elon had said in the past that he would use Dogecoin as a currency over on Twitter when he purchases it. Well, now he has purchased Twitter, and we are seeing Dogecoin already 2x from where it was last week. So I'm a buyer of Dogecoin myself. I've been adding $1 every single day for the last year. So I'm pretty happy about this move in Dogecoin. We'll see how long it lasts. Obviously, Elon has not confirmed anything recently about this, unless you guys know something that I do not. So please share that in the comments if you do. And otherwise, looking at this going up, I do feel that Dogecoin, if it does end up becoming a currency that is used over on Twitter, whether it's going to be for purchasing things, whether it's going to be for payouts, whether it's going to be for tips, whatever it's going to be, I have a feeling that if it is going to be widely used just like this, it will end up becoming equal to $1 just to make things easy. One Dogecoin equals $1. This is why I'm a buyer, not financial advice, but this is why I am doing it, because I can see it doing something in the future as far as payment and currency goes over on Twitter. And so as far as the big thing that Elon is going to disrupt, we know that he's disrupted EVs. We know that he is disrupting energy. We know that he has disrupted space. A lot of things that he puts his hands on, he disrupts. Boring Company is going to disrupt traffic and how we do all the traffic flow there. Neuralink could potentially disrupt the medical field in the future. A lot of big things are going on. But when it comes down to the real thing that Elon is disrupting that many of us really like, but a lot of big corporations and the government do not like, is transparency. Elon is disrupting transparency across the board. So it comes down to look at just EV prices alone. Tesla's out there with direct sales. Hey, this is the price you're going to pay for it. That's it. There's no going to a dealership and haggling and saying, hey, here are some secret fees. No transparency here, no transparency there. When it comes to the government's out there doing bills and there's no transparency on a lot of where the spending is going. Elon is pretty straightforward and transparent about everything, and he is opening up everything to be transparent. Elon wants to make the algorithms over on Twitter completely transparent. So this way we have open source algorithms and everybody knows what's going on. When it comes to Tesla, all their patents are open and free for everyone to use, totally transparent there as well. Elon is totally transparent about a lot of things. The reason corporations don't like this is because a lot of the reason they can succeed the way they do is because there's things that others don't know. They have that above everyone else. This is going to be a huge disruption going forward, and why so many people are against Elon and all of his projects. Because he is doing everything in an open and genuine manner. Meanwhile, not everyone else does it that way. A lot of people do shady things, and they're trying to hide stuff. So when Elon comes out and he's being transparent, they will immediately attack him and say, oh, he's hiding this, he's hiding that, he must be hiding something. The people who are saying he must be hiding something are the ones who are in turn hiding something themselves. So that's the way I am looking at it. I don't trust anyone 100%. I always question everything, even Tesla and Elon. I question everything that they do. But when you continually back up what you say with facts and proof of what you're going to be doing and an open transparency, it's a lot easier to trust someone when they're open and transparent and their actions coincide with their words, even if sometimes those actions are a little delayed, FSD. But it happens, and he's open about the reason why FSD is delayed. And as we saw recently, Argo AI decided to shut their doors, and they were also touting the fact that they were going to have FSD solved by 2020 or 2021. No one else talks about that. It's always Elon said this and Elon's not true. Well, Elon and Tesla are the only ones who are still continuing on with this, who have announced that. We've got Comet AI. Their founder has also stepped down from this. You know, as Farzad had said over on Twitter, kudos to George for stepping up and trying to take on and tackle this very hard project, but this alone shows how difficult this project is, and he is stepping down, so Comet AI is no longer as well. So there's plenty of other AI companies that are out there, so there's still other companies that are working on this, but you can see right now that it's a very difficult project and many people are not able to do this. It comes down to data collection. So that was something that Andre had mentioned himself, is how much data can you bring in? As of right now, Tesla brings in more data than anyone else by a long shot. So they're bringing all this data in, and they're utilizing it to build up their AI to take FSD to the next level and continue growing it from here. So the more data they have come in, the better. Now we go to a wide release by the end of the year, even more data will be coming in. So we'll continue to grow that the more and more people take on FSD, and the wider this gets released. So this is what's going to move Tesla forward faster than everyone else. No one else has this many vehicles on the road giving them this much data. So this is just what's going to help them, and other companies who don't have that data coming in are going to end up going to the wayside or getting bought out by someone else just because of the fact that they don't have that data and they can't move at the speed that they need to move in order to keep up with Tesla. And now when it comes to other transparency, like when it comes to government, we already have some fact checkers popping up over on Twitter. I'm middle of the road. I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat. I would say I'm probably more independent than anything, and I like to see whatever candidate is going to give us the best, and I do not like to vote for the better of the worst of two candidates. That is not how I like to vote, and unfortunately that's a lot of times what we have to vote for, is who's going to screw up my life the least. So that's where we're at right now, but seeing the transparency is nice because a lot of times you'll see even politicians will put down information on social media, Twitter, and they're going to go out there and say something, and you know, there's nothing out there that is going to stop it and fact check it. So we had Chris Murphy that was coming out stating something that was fact checked, talking about how he wants an investigation done when it comes to Saudi Arabia and their investments in Twitter as of right now. But what we all knew, or at least what I knew, was Saudi Arabia was an investor in Twitter long before Elon took over. And the fact checker popped up, along with other people in the comments as well, popping up saying that the Saudis were invested in Twitter long before Elon ended up taking over, and this transition was just them carrying over their investment into the new Twitter as it is going to be going forward as a privately owned company. So none of this has changed, but this is the slander that is out there, and the transparency that is going to open this up is going to probably, hopefully, give us better politicians in the future because they can't go out there and lie. And this is what's going to be nice about Twitter. As far as we have seen so far, I'm on board with this. And we can get actual facts that are coming out so that we can all make better decisions when it comes to who we're going to vote for versus who can lie to us the best. That is going to be a big piece of the future for us. So this transparency is going to be disrupting a lot. And this, of course, is why we have seen so many people, when it comes to corporations and politicians, really bashing Elon a lot because they're not aboard with this. They live their lives based upon the fact that they can give us just the information that they want to give us, and they know that the majority of the public isn't going to do due diligence and research. They're just going to blindly trust this person because this person must be someone who can be trusted. They're a politician. They must be somebody I can trust. It's a joke, and the fact that people think that way, I do apologize. You know, some people are great, and there's nothing to take away from all politicians. They're not all that way. There are some people who are genuinely good in trying to do what is the best for all of us. But in the case of many of them, look, you're going to see this. I've already seen several fact checks coming up from politicians that are out there stating that, you know what you're saying isn't entirely true. You need to give all of the facts to people so that they know exactly what you're saying, because when you say it the way you say it, you're manipulating people. And that's the problem. A lot of these politicians and corporations use manipulation and use their power to manipulate the people to keep their power and to get even stronger within their power. It's not right, it's not fair, at least in my opinion, so I'm glad that this is going on. And so I know that we usually talk about mostly Tesla on here, but when it comes to Elon, what he's doing with Twitter, I think there's going to be a lot of underlying things that are happening with Twitter that are going to positively affect Tesla in the future. We've already talked about it before, about how we're probably going to be seeing a big X on the screens and the Teslas going forward. We're going to have Twitter being in there as, you know, X corporation that's going to end up running your car when it comes to the social media and all the other things, especially if Elon turns it into a WeChat chat type platform. That's going to be huge as well. But when it comes to what Twitter is actually going to be doing, especially as far as transparency goes, that's going to help Tesla immensely. Think about all the FUD that is out there right now, and the fact that a lot of this FUD isn't backed up by a lot of fact. It's backed up by whatever information that is cherry-picked from certain areas to make Tesla Q arguments sound good. Now we can actually get fact checkers that are out there. This is going to go in both directions. Even when there's some hyperboles that are out there saying some things that, there's some cherry-picked information, that can get fact-checked also. But I think what's going to come down to is there's probably a lot more negative FUD that is out there than too much positivity that is out there, and we can get a nicer balance and actually move forward when it comes to Tesla and have a lot less FUD that is out there, because we're going to have a lot more clarity and transparency when it comes to the truth behind what these people are saying. So I'm excited to see where all of this is going to take us. I'm excited to see where transparency is going to lead us as a country, lead Tesla as a stock and a company as well, and I'm looking forward to where this is all going to go. And you guys can let me know in the comments what you guys feel about the transparency that we are seeing out of Elon and all of his companies, and how you think that is going to disrupt all of the world going forward. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat, that link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon and a membership program. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.